How's everybody doing? It's dyclif here, and welcome to the NBA 2K12 version of the NBA Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Miami Heat. Game 2, and yes, we're still inside of American Airlines Arena. And I checked on that about it being inside of American Airlines Arena, not Chesapeake Energy Solutions Arena, or whatever they call it down there in OKC. Basically, they had a tied record. They split the regular season, and 2K didn't know who to give it to, so they gave it to the Heat. And I don't know what they did in real life to decide. I guess it was just points of margin of victory. So, I mean, if you guys know of anything about this, let me know. So, yeah. But, anyways, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Game 1 and how it went down, expectations for Game 2, and the rest of the series, and at the end I'll comment on some of the things inside the game that was just absolutely crazy to me. So we'll see how that turns out and stuff. So anyways, Game 1 was compiled of the Heat playing good up until about halfway through the third quarter, and then slowly their efforts started to slowly deplete as the game went along. And just the role players of the Thunder, like I said, that would come up clutch in Game 1, I'm proud of this, was Nick Collison and Thabo Sefolosha. Nick Collison, I believe, had 10 points, 8 boards. It's a great contribution. I think he had 3 offensive rebounds or something like that. Just getting those shots off down low, off offensive rebounds. Those really hard-earned baskets that he works hard for. So, and not to mention a nice dime from Kevin Durant towards the closing seconds of the game. And also Thabo Sefolosha, he had the defensive assignment of Dwayne Wade, and he did guard LeBron James for a couple possessions. So, and he did flat out a wonderful job. And you know, his wingspan's probably around 6'10 and a half, 6'11. Him himself, I think, is 6'7", but I could be wrong. And you know, he's just an overall great player. He can step out and make the three for you. He can drive sometimes, but he focuses on defense, and I think that's really what the Thunder needs, and that's why I think he starts over James Harden, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, obviously, James Harden, the better offensive player and probably the better overall player. You know, just more of an asset to his team overall-wise than Thabo. Will get more minutes. But Thabo himself, coming out of Switzerland, and I think it's been a while. He's been inside the league for a while. I'm not sure if he played for the Supersonics when they were the Supersonics, but very, very good defensive job overall. And something that I want to point out is that the Miami Heat did not screw up. Basically, they just became flat inside the fourth quarter. They didn't really throw the game away. They didn't really stop playing either. But I think they depended a lot on LeBron and Wade to try to finish the game, and that just wasn't enough, where the Thunder seem to have more options. It's just the way it is. And overall, the Thunder did turn the ball over quite a bit into the first overall half of the game, and Miami only had 1 turnover for forever, and that sort of just switched inside the second half. Thabo Sefolosha created turnovers, and basically the Thunder's overall great defense just created turnovers, and you know, that's just the main point of it. I mean, the Thunder played a better defensive game than Miami, and they won the game. So they converted their sort of defense into offense and made magic happen. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Miami was looking good early. For them, I really don't see any changes, but they pretty much have to take Game 2 because, again, this stat's pretty known by now because everyone's saying it. Because of the situation that the Thunder came back from 2-0, only 4% of the teams come back from a 2-0 deficit in a series. So, you know, And I think a main reason for that is because I think they installed this rule inside of 2002 or 2002, where it used to be you could win 3 games and win the series. That was considered a sweep. But I guess for the NBA to give more hope to more teams, because nobody's came back from a 3-0 deficit, but unlike other people, I believe it will happen. I believe that you can come back from a 3-0 deficit and still win. But it's highly unlikely. 0 teams have done it. So, I just think, you know, I just think they want to squeeze a little bit more money out of their game than just 3-0. You know, because that used to be it. And I think the NBA was getting a little bit more popular around the 2002 mark as Kevin Durant just throws it down. And I think they just want to get a little bit more popular and, you know, grab a little bit more money out of it, not throwing any fingers here, or pointing any fingers, I should say. But that's the way it sort of looked to me. Just throwing it out there. But for Game 2, Miami needs to attack the way they did into the first half. And they need to keep Shane Battier in the game, because when you shoot 3 for 3 and you get taken out of the game, you got to be mad, okay? I mean, the guy was lighting it up. And I thought at first it was like, oh, here we go. This is the Heat's role player. And scores 9 points right off the bat. 14 inside the first half, I believe, for Shane Battier. And that's clutch. That's clutch. Well, it's not really that clutch, but it's huge. I guess you can say it's clutch. So, anyways, I want to point out what just happened in the game. Dwayne Wade threw a no-look over-the-shoulder pass to LeBron James for the alley-oop finish. That was one of the sickest plays I've ever seen. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They can't even do that in real life, and they just did it in a video game. Well, it's a video game, but I can see it happening. I mean, it's not too far-fetched for Dwayne Wade to throw an over-the-shoulder lob. But that one was sort of like a no-look, and I think it's one of the better plays I've seen out of anything that you can throw up against it out of real life. So, yeah, if you can come up with a better real-life play than that, except for maybe the Rudy Fernandez over the head to Fareed instead of the fast break, that was pretty awesome. And I'm sure that there's other plays like Gerald Green's windmill alley-oop. That was pretty awesome as well. There's plenty of plays out there. But anyways, in the game right now, the Heat are basically just trying to come back from a minor deficit of about, 13, sort of like how the Thunder came back from. But they're just I didn't mention anything about LeBron or KD. LeBron had his not playoff career high, but finals career high of 30. And if you want to know what it was actually 25 versus the Spurs. And so the 04 finals. So he finally broke that. That's a good sign if you're a Heat fan or a LeBron fan in general. But yeah, KD exploded, had 17 to the fourth quarter, 36 in the game. And yeah, that was huge. So, anyways, the Heat cut it to 5, and the Thunder, that's basically the dagger. I'm just gonna say it. They go up by 7. That'll pretty much be the game. The series is tied at 1 in NBA 2K12. So, anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and as always, have a nice day.